Hi everyone, my name is Teresa and this is my go-to makeup tutorial. All my products are really affordable because affordability is really important. I can't afford to spend $40 on eyeliner every month. So all my products are super affordable, and without further ado, let's go. So I start my routine with NYX Bear With Me Multitask Spray. This spray is such a gem. You know, I think it was about $12, $13, and it primes your face, refreshes your face before you start with any other products. So you spray that all over your face. And then next product is the e.l.f. Poreless Primer. I have just discovered this primer about 2 months ago and it is so cheap. I can't remember the exact price, probably about $10, $9. And it just preps your face so nicely for your foundation, for your concealers. It prevents crease, you know, it sets really well. This is what it looks like. Kind of looks like lotion. That. And I mainly put it for my under eyes just because that's where it creases the most. And I find that when I put foundation under my eyes, it like cakes up really badly or it melts away. So this primer makes the foundation stays. Right away, you can tell that your skin is super soft as it fills in all the pores. This also prevents breakout. So for all my people out there that don't use a primer before makeup, you need to use a primer. This prevents breakouts, prevents oiliness. There you go. After that, you want to put a little bit of powder on after the primer. This smooths out your skin really well, and like as you can see, there's only a little bit of powder. So don't put a lot on, just put a little bit all over your face. This smooths out your skin. You guys can tell the difference after you put the powder on and then you touch your face. It feels so nice. This makes your foundation go on a lot smoother. There you go. Because after the e.l.f. primer, I find that my skin gets a little bit too sticky. And then with the powder on, it just smooths it out so it's like baby skin. It's really nice, guys. The next product I'm going to use is the NYX Dark Circle Concealer. This concealer is so helpful. I've been using it for about 3-4 years now. Discovered it at NYX. And it's, I think, about $10, $12. So all my products are really affordable. And this lasts me so long. So I use a little brush like this. And I just get some product on the brush. And I just go lightly under my eyes. So you don't want to like rub it in or anything. You just want to kind of put it on top. Because the orange cancels out the blue under my eyes. And make sure you guys go up to the corner here. So don't just go down here, but go up here. This will help your blending. And as you guys can see, I am kind of like going section by section. Never do this, because that moves all the product that way. So you just want to gently use your brush and go section by section, make sure everything is even. For the Dark Circle Concealer, I like to use my fingers to blend. Okay, you guys can of course use a brush, you guys can use a makeup sponge, but for me, I find that under my eyes here, there's a lot of corners and I like to use my fingers as more precise, and I find that this concealer stays on better if I just use my fingers and I just tap around it. And I don't want this concealer to be fully blended out. I still want this concealer to be visible because it does have like an orange, yellowish tone. So I still want it visible under the foundation. Because once you put foundation over it, you can't see the concealer. But the concealer, if it stays there, then it cancels out the dark circle really well. If you guys blend it in really well, then I find that some of the products get onto your brush or it gets onto the beauty sponge, and then you have less of the product to cover your dark circles. And next, I like to go in with the NYX HD Concealer to cover up like your little pimples, like this guy over here, and I have dark spots over here and pimple right there. So I just use this concealer to cover it up before the foundation. And then I don't do the concealer under my eyes before the foundation. You always want to do it after the foundation. Then again, preference. If you want to use the concealer to highlight your under eyes, you know, your nose area, then of course do it after the foundation. But if you want your foundation to go on smoothly and you don't want any highlights, then feel free to use the concealer before the foundation and the foundation last to make your face like one color, okay? So for me, I like to go in with this concealer. It has a wand, and I am the shade CW02. You just want to go in there and kind of dot your problem areas. Because sometimes if you go on with foundation and your pimple or your dark spot is really dark, then your foundation, I find that doesn't cover it that well. Especially for me, I don't use a heavy coverage foundation. It's too thick on my skin. I find that it gets too oily, I get breakouts, it's hard to wash off. So I use like a light to medium coverage, so that's light, it's like water, goes on really nicely. So I find that for that foundation, it doesn't cover your blemishes that great. And again, you guys want to blend with your fingers. As you guys can see, my really red pimple is not that noticeable anymore. Okay, and all my little tiny dots are not that noticeable either. Next step of the routine is our foundation. So at the beginning of your routine, you want to soak your beauty blender in water. Okay, and I don't get my beauty blender from Sephora. You guys can get it from a lot of different places. I get mine from Winners. It's like $7. You get like 3, and it all works the same. You want to soak it in water so that it's nice and wet, and you want to squeeze out the water so it's damp. And the reason being is that the application is a lot smoother when your beauty blender is damp, and also it doesn't soak up the products as bad, because when you go in there with a dry beauty blender, it's grabbing onto all the foundation for moisture. But if you already have a damp beauty blender, it just leaves the foundation where it is. Of course, some is gonna get on. I clean mine like once every 2 days, but as you can see, it stains it really bad. But make sure you guys soak it. Get my foundation from MAC Studio, and mine is the Water Weight 30 SPF foundation. It is super lightweight. I love the SPF in there as it protects you from the sun, and it has a eyedropper in here. I love this so I don't have to dump the whole bottle in my face by accident. This foundation was about $40, and it's probably my most expensive product. But I love this foundation. I've tried a lot. I've tried 2 from Sephora that were like $60, $70. I've tried one from L'Oreal that was like $12, $15, $20. This one's my favorite so far. So for me, I see on videos that like a lot of people just like slap on like 10 pounds of foundation. That's not me. I like to keep it really lightweight. I like to keep it very natural, because I find that if I put too much products on, my skin gets really tired throughout the day, and then at nighttime or the next morning I break out. So this one's super lightweight, very breathable, and it's buildable. Buildable means that you put some on, and then if it's not enough, you can keep adding without it creasing or caking. So just do a drop there, drop there, tiny drop there, and up here. That's it. Just 4 drops. So one foundation lasts me forever. You want to go in there with a sponge and just lightly move the products. You want it to be even. So you want to be really gentle just to even out the products across your face. Foundation is all evened out across your face. Then we can go in there and really press in the foundation. As you guys can see, it's super lightweight, but it evens out my skin tone. And then after you're done with your face, the leftover products on your beauty sponge, you just want to do the neck too. Next, I go in there with the concealer, the same one we used in the beginning for the blemishes, but this time I'm gonna go under my eyes to highlight my eyes. This also helps with the dark circle. As you guys can see, I still have like the shadow under my dark circle, even though it's like a lot better, but this will really cancel it out. So use a wand with a little product on it, not too much, little goes a long way. And I just want to start with the corner of my eye here, and I want to make like a triangle, and I want to fan it up here to my collarbone, because that's the area I'm going to highlight, so I really want to make it pop. So you never want to just put like a couple dots under your eyes and then blend it. You want to drag it down so it's really even, so you don't have like 2 stripes of like bright area. No, you want to blend it down. Little goes a long way, guys. Don't use a lot of product. If you use a lot of product under your eyes, that's when it's really easily to crease. And as you guys can see, I don't go all the way up to my lash line. I want to leave a little room between the lash line and the concealer. So as you see, I make like a triangle here, and then I fan it out to my collarbone like that. Of course, you guys can highlight your chin, you guys can highlight your nose, okay? Sometimes I highlight my nose, but I try not to put that much products on my T-zone, which is right here, because that's where it gets oily, and I find that the more products I put on, the more oily it gets, and the more quickly it gets oily. So then you want to go in with your beauty blender again, and whenever you blend concealer, you want to start at the bottom. Don't start at the top. You want to blend out these bottom first, blend it onto your skin. Make sure you guys don't just blend it down here, because you want to highlight this area. So keep blending going that direction. Okay, so don't blend it down, blend it in the direction you want it to go. And then you can blend the rest. Okay, never start up here, always start at the bottom areas. For me, sometimes a beauty blender doesn't get into the corner of my eyes, so you can use your finger and just gently blend the inside here. Next, you want to set your foundation and set your concealer. Okay, my favorite product to use is the Peach Perfect from Too Faced. It does smell like peach, if anyone's wondering. It does smell like peach, and some did get into my mouth, and it does taste like peach too. This one I think is about $38, $40 at Sephora. You want to set your concealer and foundation as soon as possible. So you don't want to wait, because then it will crease. With this setting powder, what it does is it prevents creasing, sets it, that's what it does, sets, and doesn't let it move around, doesn't melt. But for my folks with dry skin, you guys may want to hydrate your skin really well before you use the setting powder, because the setting powder does make your skin really dry. Your makeup can get cakey, it can get flaky with the setting powder, so don't use a lot of setting powder if you know that you have dry skin. A little goes a long way. If you have dry skin, I do recommend going over your foundation concealer with the NYX Bear With Me multi-spray, the one that we use in the very beginning, because this is also a hydrator, a refresher. So refresh your skin, hydrate your skin before you use the setting powder. You just want to drag it across so you get like products like this. Okay. Of course, it's all preference on how much setting powder you want to use. And again, for people with dry skin, I do not recommend using a lot because your skin will be very dry if you use a lot. Okay, so I go under my eyes and then I go a little bit on my chin. This is where it gets oily too. And then I want to highlight this area. Yeah, my forehead throughout the day, it gets so oily. So annoying, guys. And then for me, the most I do for contouring my nose is with the powder. I just kind of go like, not in the middle, but right next to the middle. As you can see, I left like a sliver without powder on there. And you let it set. I always start my routine with my eyebrows. I love this one from NYX. It's the Precision Brow Pencil. Looks like this. It's about $13, $14. I've used it for about 2-3 years now. I really love it. The tip is angled. What's also great about this precision pencil is that it has a brush on the other end. So this side is your pencil and this side is your brush. So here, you want to brush up the hair like that. Just brush it up. And then you just want to go with the shape of your eyebrows. That's why it's really important if you guys never got your eyebrows waxed or threaded. That means you don't really have a shape on your eyebrows. Okay, I got my wax before and threaded. The threaded one hurt like hell, but I get a bad reaction from the waxing, so I don't like either. But you guys can try out waxing or threading, see which one you like. But it's really important to do that, especially if you've never done it, because then you will get the shape of your eyebrows. And it's really easy to maintain afterwards. I haven't gone to a session in like a couple months, a year maybe. After you thread it, after you wax it, all you have to do is when you see a little hair that's growing misplaced, then you just pluck it. Then you will keep your eyebrow shape for a really, really long time. Alright, so you guys can see, I drew the shape, the bottom part, okay? Then you want to fill it in, but don't go all the way up to the top. Okay? Now that I kind of filled it in, then you grab your brush and brush your hair downwards. Okay, now you can see the top line really clearly. Leave the last little area out here untouched. Okay, you want to do that last, because that area is going to be the lightest, so you have like an ombre shape. That's just what I like, but of course if you want one shade, of course go ahead, but I like the ombre where it's like lighter to darker, so I save that area for last. Okay, now that I'm done my eyebrow, then I go into the Okay, now that I'm done my eyebrow, I want to go into the inside here, and I just want to gently do like little strokes like this, like hair strokes, like up, 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 up. Okay, really lightly though. Okay, and then you use the end and you blend it in upwards position. Okay, this is one side of my eyebrows done. This is what my eyebrows look like when it's done. This is not done. This is done. See that? I always go with my shape, okay? So if your eyebrows are like me and it goes up and down, don't try to draw the caterpillar. If you're a caterpillar, don't try to draw the up and down unless you change your eyebrow shape, because that's what the hair is. Okay, so go with the hair. That's why the waxing threading is so important, so you know the shape of your eyebrows. All right, now that I have both my eyebrows done, it's really important that they're even. And how to know that if you did your eyebrows too short or too long is that you go on the edge of your nose and you go up. That should be the tip of your eyebrows, like that. So if your eyebrows are past this, that means your eyebrows are too close. If your eyebrows like over here, that means your eyebrows too short. So boom, and then to the middle of your eye, that should be your arch. And then and the corner of your eye right here and on your nose, boom, that should be the end of your eyebrow. So today we're gonna do a really light everyday color. So you always want to start with the darker color on the outside, then a lighter color, and then the lightest color. So I'll be using the Tartelette Toasted palette, and I will be using the color Latte today. Here, this one, Latte, okay? So for me, sometimes if you put the product on and then you realize that you still have a lot of product left, if you keep dabbing it on, your eyes could be really dark. I dab some on, and I'm like, okay, that's enough. And then you can get rid of the rest on tissue paper. And because this is your corner color, you don't want to blend it all the way down here. You want to just blend it like halfway. All right, this is what it looks like after both is blended out, okay? As you guys can see, I started with just like little dabs here, wiped out the rest, and blend it out. That's why I said little goes a long way, because if you put a lot on, then it's hard to even it out and blend it out. The next shade I'm gonna do is Cashmere, this one. Well, really light. And this is gonna be my middle color. So my middle color is gonna be from here to, not to the corner of my eye, but just before the corner right there. So this little area right here. We're gonna save the corner for the lightest color. All right, this is what it looks like when the two colors are blended. So from this palette, I'm gonna use the Sunrise. It's kind of like a creamy, shiny color. I'm gonna use that for the corner of my eyes. You guys can take a really big brush and just brush out your setting powder, because now your eyeshadow's done, you can brush it off. All the setting powder is gone, and I like to go in there with a setting spray right when the setting powder is done. Next step of my routine is the eyeliner, okay? For those that have never used eyeliner before, I recommend using a gel one or a pencil one first. So for me, I use NYX Epic Ink liner. It's waterproof, it's smudge proof. I've cried all day in it and it's still on, so amazing. Alright, so that's what I mean. I draw the bottom line first. And then I connected the tip out here onto my eyelid. Alright, like that. That's what I mean. From the tip onto my eyelid, like that. So as you guys can see, it's hollow. So I look, I'm like, okay, I like the shape, good, and then you fill it in. Alright, now that my eyeliner is done, both sides. So you want to go in there with an eyelash curler. I got mine from the Face Shop, I think for like $5, $7 maybe. You want to go close to the lash line, but don't clip your eyelashes off. I am using the Full Spectrum Covergirl Mascara. Got this from Winners. I think it was like $6, $7. I really like it because the other mascaras I've used before, I curl my lashes, I do my mascara, and it still comes down. Okay, so my eyelashes just straighten and it's just straight and it looks like I didn't even curl it. Okay, but this one I love. Okay, it keeps it curled. So how I do my mascara is I have my mirror kind of like downwards so I can see like the base of my eyelashes, and then I do like a little like ooh, and then I go. Alright, so the eyes are done, the eyeliner, the mascara, everything. I just want to show you guys one more trick is, so you can see my mascara down here, it just like has a little dot. What you're going to do is you're going to take a Q-tip and you're going to put the Q-tip on the dot and you're just going to twist it. Okay, this doesn't ruin your concealer. But if you guys go in there with your finger and you like rub it off, you're rubbing your concealer off. Okay, this will not get your concealer off because it's kind of like blending it, but it's taking away that dot as well. For the blush and contour, I don't really use like a specific name brand. You can get some from Miniso, get some from Shoppers Drug Mart, London Drugs, okay? I'm not really big on name brands because, like, who's rich enough to get like $50 products for every single product you use? Okay, imagine everything was $50. This is like a $500 table. Okay, so go in there with my brush. And for me, I kind of like the nose blushed a little bit, so I go on the nose and I just go up to here. Boom. So boom, I like mine pretty rosy, so it looks like that. And next, all we have to do is our highlighting, okay? My best friend got me this palette for my birthday, I think. No, for Christmas. I can't remember, okay? But she got me the Fenty Beauty highlighting palette, okay? If you guys haven't seen it, that's what it looks like. Okay, to be honest, I only use like 2 colors in this. So I'm gonna start with the corner of my eyes and I use like a tiny brush like this, very tiny. And I just get a little tiny product and I just go on the corner of my eyes, like right here, just to make it pop. So what I like to do is I like to take more products and I like to just drag it kind of right here on the lash line. Alright, so that's the finished product. Just in the corner of my eyes to make it pop more. And then I'm gonna take my highlighting brush, which is the fan brush, and I'm gonna use the Scandal Ice, which is the bluish purple one up here. And then I take a little brush and I do it under my eyebrows too to make it pop. And then that's it. And you want to go in there one more time with your setting spray. Again, I use a NYX Bear With Me one. Alright, so this is what the finished product looks like. So as you can see, it's really light, it's not cakey, it doesn't look cakey at all, especially with the concealer, the foundation, the powder. It looks really natural, okay? And that's how I like to do my makeup. I don't really use lipstick, so I have like 2 lipstick in my makeup bag, but I don't use lipstick because I eat a lot. And I find that with lipstick I can't eat as much, I feel like. So no lipstick, I just use lip balm. I use Vaseline, so that gives it like a glossy tone, so it looks like I have gloss on. But if you guys like to use lipstick, feel free to go ahead. But just remember, if you go heavy on the eyes, go light on the lips. If you go heavy on the lips, go light on the eyes. That means if your eyes are like really dramatic, really dark, then you want your lipstick to be a lighter color. So like a light pink or a nude. But if your eyes are really light, like this is pretty natural, then you can go like a red lipstick. Okay, so either or, don't go both, because then you'll look too much. Okay, so this is how I do my makeup. I want to hear how you guys think of it. Thank you for watching.